Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Unique Vibrations Midday Show. I'm Donna Ferguson and I'm your producer and host of the show. And we're going to be talking about responsibility today. So thank you so much for joining me. Much gratitude to each and every one of you who are on today, tuned in. And, whether you're watching this live or you're going to watch the replay, really, thank you to all you beautiful souls. I really am very grateful. And, wherever you're tuning in to around the world. So please take a moment and pop in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Love to know. As you know, this show is global. If you've joined us before, if this is your first time for joining us, then, I really am extremely grateful, as I said. And, it is a global show, so I'd love to know where you're tuning in from today. Don't forget to stay until the end, because at the end of this show, I have an incredible gift for those who want it. All you have to do is just place yes please in the comments, and I will send you a private message with the information for what we're going to do. And it's invaluable, this gift. You can't buy it. So, this is just something I wanted to give to each and every one of you today. So again, thank you for joining us and stay tuned to the end. As I said, we're going to be talking about responsibility today. So I am referring to my notes as we go through today. And, here's a question to start the show off. How many times have you gone to bed at night with a clear intention of taking action steps that you're going to need to move forward in your business and in your life, and going to wake up with a whole new attitude and, life's going to be amazing? I ask you that question, but the very next question that I'm going to ask you, and please put your comments in the comment box. I'd love to know how many of you have done that, but also how many of you then wake up the next day with the feeling of the same old, and, attitudes are the same. Nothing has changed. When you get to the end of that next day and you look around and you're like, nothing changed. I didn't do the action steps. I didn't do what I needed to do. And, that whole intention to do that has just dwindled away. Well, what if you knew the secret to finding out how to understand timing and how to take responsibility for your decisions instead of laying blame everywhere else? Wouldn't that be amazing? So most of you think that your mindset is part of your gene makeup, so, your DNA makeup. And, most people also think it's impossible to change your thoughts and beliefs. Well, it's not. It's that simple. It's not impossible. You look at the word impossible and it says, I'm possible. So anything is possible. And when you take responsibility for your actions and for your decisions and your choices, then, you can actually see how that does make a difference. I'm not sure why my screen's gone a little bit dark, but that's okay. So again, if you tuned in, please make a comment below. I'd love to know that you're sitting here watching today. It does mean a lot to me that, I'm able to share this gift with everyone. So moving on, if you knew the secret that would help you to retrain your brain and know that it was simple, easy, and effortless, would you like to know how? If you would, please, again, make a comment in the box. I'd love to know about it. I'd love to be able to share some further information with you and understand how that all works. So, it's simple. You can retrain your brain. It's very easy. And I do have the secrets and the strategies and the key information about that. But part of the process can be done by setting your intentions. So what I mean by that is during the course of the day, probably late in the day, so it's the last thing that you do, you have a list. Write a list for what you have to do the next day. Write a list of what your intentions are, how you're going to go about achieving that, how you're going to set that intention and follow through. So, it's really easy. And then when you go to bed over night time, have the list with you. Have the list, work through that, and absolutely, think about the intentions, the to-do list for the next day, and work through that in your mind. And as you close your eyes and just lay there thinking about that, that's the last thing that your conscious mind passes on to your subconscious mind before you go to sleep. Therefore, you're taking responsibility before you go to sleep to actually make a new start for the next day with great intentions of achieving what you want to achieve. And your subconscious mind literally has the ability to, during the course of the night while you're sleeping, to facilitate that change in you for the next day. That's amazing in itself. So, things that you don't even realize are occurring, which is, showing you how to be responsible and taking responsibility the next day, all comes down to what your subconscious mind interacts into your consciousness. So a little bit confusing, but, it's really simple when you understand it. So make a to-do list so that you've got that by the computer or wherever you work, wherever you want that to be, the next day. So you've got that just before falling asleep, that to-do list is going through your mind. Your subconscious mind is getting, trained into what it needs to do and how easy it's going to do that. And the next day you can go and tick those things off your list, showing that you have made a real difference on that day, taking responsibility, being accountable. By looking at that list and ticking off, you can see absolutely how much you've achieved in one day. It gives you the visual result as well. And, therefore your responsibility for that day, even if you didn't finish that list, it doesn't make a big difference. Put the things on the bottom of the list that you didn't get to on your list for the next day at the top so you can tick them off as you go. If you make a really big list and you don't get through everything, look at the things you did get through. Have the visual effect of everything that you've ticked off. And that way you can feel proud, you can feel absolutely empowered by what you're achieving each and every day. And the next day, just turn the list over to follow on, if that's the case. I would encourage that you probably don't try and make your list too big, because when you're taking responsibility for everything, you really want to be able to be responsible for achieving those things. And, maybe there's some things on that list that you really don't have to do that day. So prioritize those lists and make them exactly how you want them to be and how, where you want them to be. So again, if you're watching this today, please put a comment in. Let me know that you're here. It's just amazing to have everybody on board watching, and I really am very grateful for everything that we do cover. Responsibility is a massive thing that people don't tend to think is all about setting intentions. They think of it more as just doing things as you go through life and being a responsible human being, as opposed to taking responsibility for everything that you do. So, when you take responsibility, it gives you the opportunity, and it's the time to eliminate all those excuses. It's time to eliminate the blame game and, blame your circumstances or others that have been in your life for everything that goes wrong in your life. You can choose a different path if you truly want to do that. And, starting your responsibility journey is really a big one. So here's 8 ways that I found for taking responsibility for your life. So first of all, start building your own self-esteem. Look at who you are and, start telling yourself you're worthy. Start telling yourself that you're valued. Start telling yourself that you're beautiful. Start telling yourself simply that you're enough. And, build your self-esteem around that. Give yourself permission to live the life that you want. And sometimes when things are going wrong in your life, sometimes people feel like they can't show a happy side or don't want to show that, things are okay. You know what? When things are bad or not the greatest, then it's okay to still be happy and enjoy the moments of each day as you go through them. If there's something to be celebrated, regardless of what's going on, celebrate it, because, the perfect time is the more that you celebrate life, the more that you celebrate the things that are going well in your life, the more that you can literally start moving forward. So give yourself permission to live the life that you want. Know the limits of your responsibility. These are things that, you can't always control. So just let go of those things. Things happen. They may not be anything that you have absolutely any control over. Hello, my lovely Sunny. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And, so really it's knowing the limits, the limits of what's in your control and what's not in your control. And it's really important to just let stuff go if you can't find an outcome, or you're not responsible for finding that outcome. Just sometimes things happen, you just have to let it go and let things happen. And I find that that's often the best way to be able to move forward, because holding on to it's not going to help you to really move forward. It's not going to help you get into the life that you want to live. And, it's amazing. So, it's great. So I know I do have a problem with that, Sunny, and I'm working on some other areas. Sunny's just telling me that my video is a little bit buffering, and there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately, until I can get these other programs up and running, which I'm working on. But it's just been a little bit hectic trying to get those to work. I've had a few issues with the online chat to have that operated, but thank you so much for letting me know. So the next step is aim to be the best version of yourself. So the best version of you at all times. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. You can do things within yourself, within your life, to actually make this a really great version of yourself each and every day. Always look for a high in your day as opposed to the low. And stop complaining. Man, that's a major one. Stop complaining about what's going wrong and start thinking and appreciating everything that's going right. Stop complaining about other people. They have no effect or no interest in your life as such. And, it's really up to you to make the most of your life and let that stuff go, because what they think and what they want to do with you is none of your business. So if they don't align with you and they're not the sort of people that you want around in your life, then just, stop complaining about it and move on. Look for your own happiness without relying on others. That's a major one. It's really important that you look within. Your own happiness comes from you. It doesn't come from other people. If you're not happy, if you're not fully content with your life, if you're not able to really look at how you can be happy without having anything else in your life, then you're not going to find happiness anywhere else. So happiness is all about yourself, it's all about within, and it's all about how you make yourself happy and live a happy life. Look for your own, always find the high point. As I said before, I mentioned that it's about finding the high point in your day, regardless of whether your day is a great day or not. Your high point is, the best part of your day. What did you take out of a bad day to turn it around to a positive? And don't look at the negatives that you've had during the course of the day. Always look at the positive. And be consistent with everything you do. I can't stress that enough. Consistency, persistency, and, that always leads to achieving more. So, that speaks for itself. Just be persistent, do all the small things all the time, and all the other things will just start to happen. And, start being responsible for your thoughts and your actions in your life. Think about what you're going to say. Think about what you're about to do. Is that something that is going to have consequences? Well, everything, in fact, has consequences. Every decision and choice that you make has a consequence. Looking at what that consequence is, whether it's good or bad as a result of what you're going to do, be responsible, own that stuff, really own it, and know that you can make good choices and bad choices. And at the end of the day, those choices relate to how responsible you are for your own life. Anything is possible. As I mentioned earlier, impossible actually says the word I'm possible. So anything is possible if you set your mind to it, take responsibility for your life and your actions, then you can achieve everything that you want. Start to simplify things. People overcomplicate life. Life is not meant to be complicated. And often, if you look at the circumstances of what's going on around you, if you were to simplify that and not overthink it, you will come up with an answer very quickly. It'll come up from within, and you'll be able to move forward quickly and effectively and efficiently and achieve what you want to achieve. So don't overcomplicate life. It's really not something that is important to do. It takes up time. It will cause self-sabotage and procrastination, and it's not allowing you to move forward. The simple answer that comes to you is usually the right answer. So each day, at the end of your day, I did talk about this earlier as well, is to write your today list always at the end of the day, so that you're prepared for your intentions when you go to bed, to have running through your mind on what your intention for the next day is, your to-do list to tick off, but the to-do list for your intentions in your mind to actually sleep, so that your subconscious mind filters through and facilitates that to work through into your conscious mind the next day. Really important. And as promised, my free gift, if you're interested in this, please write a comment at the bottom, a yes please, and I will message you. I am offering a free gift of a 15-minute power call today, where I will sit back and give you 15 minutes on a call, whether that's Zoom, depending on where you are, Zoom or over the phone, and we will just run through a few things for you and go from there. So I'm more than happy to offer that as my free gift to you, because I feel that women really don't take action very often because they're worried or concerned about what the implications of that is. This is completely free. It will cost you nothing. It is my time that I'm gifting to you for 15 minutes to work on some things that you want to improve on in your life. So I thank you all so very, very much for being here today. Whether you're watching the replay or you've been watching live, that free gift is an opportunity for you to take up. And I would love to hear from you. So, thank you so much for tuning into Unique Vibrations TV show. I'm Donna Ferguson, and I am the host of the show. And I just want you all to take responsibility for your actions, for your life, and be extraordinary. Love to you all. Thank you so much, you beautiful souls, for tuning in today.